Let's talk about how we got the first 100 subscribers to our newsletter. What's up, Joey here. This is part of the vlog series where I'm documenting building a newsletter business in public from scratch on the beehiiv platform. So let's break down subscribers. So in the last video, I covered the idea of the newsletter, virtual production industry, filmmaking industry, and then we got it up and going and did the initial launch. So now let me talk about how we got the first initial subscribers. It is very windy. All right. So there were two main tactics I used to get the first 100 or so subscribers. One was just personal outreach, and the second one was LinkedIn. We're using a couple tools to help with that process. Okay. So part one, direct outreach. So the newsletter, it is about the virtual production industry, which is sort of a subset of movie making, filmmaking industry. I already met a lot of people. We did a bunch of video coverage at NAB, huge video tech conference. So I'd already met a lot of people face to face, and that was sort of where the initial idea of this newsletter came from. So I just dug into my email list, contact list, and just told people, hey, I launched. I did do a hack before I did this, and I actually think I mentioned it in the previous video. So we launched the newsletter like on a Thursday. The idea back then was this was going to be a daily newsletter. That's changed, another future episode. But I pre-wrote or back-wrote 4 editions of the newsletter that just lived as blog posts on beehiiv. They never actually emailed anywhere because we didn't launch the email. So that way, if people went to the website and checked it out, they would see, oh, there are already some issues out here. I mean, it is a pie in the sky idea, but there's some back issues here. This thing must be serious. If they're taking it seriously, let me hopefully make them more inclined to subscribe. So first batch of people, I just directly emailed people I knew. If you're launching a newsletter, I'm sure they're friends, family, people in the industry that you personally know. They just personally be like, hey, I launched this newsletter. What do you think of it? And then the second batch of getting this initial 100 subscribers was using LinkedIn. So because this is a B2B type newsletter and it's targeting a very specific niche of specific companies that I know of, specific studios, specific people's job titles, LinkedIn's ideal where I can source who I'm looking for, what companies I'm looking for that people work at, and send out invites, be like, hey, launch this newsletter. Would you like to subscribe? It's about your industry. So you need 2 tools to do this. One, you need LinkedIn Premium. It's about $90 US a month. And this is the only way that you're going to be able to finally sort everyone by job title, location, position, all that stuff. It's got an incredible search engine. That's what people are paying for to use LinkedIn Premium. Second tool is called Skylead. And so this is a third-party tool that connects to your LinkedIn account. I just created a couple searches based on companies people worked at that I wanted to target, loaded them in Skylead, and then it was sending out automated invites, and then some if-then stuff based on if they accepted my invites, what kind of message I would send them, and if they didn't accept, what follow-up message I would send them. But the gist was, hey, launch this newsletter. Would you like to subscribe? Ideally, I mean, it's really good for doing cold emails, cold sales. But in this case, I'm like, I could just use it for a newsletter. And this will automate the process, especially some of these larger companies where they've got thousands of employees. I just created a couple searches based on companies people worked at that I wanted to target, loaded them in Skylead, and then it was sending out automated invites, and then some if-then stuff based on if they accepted my invites, what kind of message I would send them, and if they didn't accept, what follow-up message I would send them. But the gist was, hey, launch this newsletter. Would you like to subscribe? So those 2 techniques got the first 100 or so subscribers, probably a little bit more. Some people were actually really excited about the idea of the newsletter and shared it in their company, and through referrals got a couple dozen other subscribers. But eventually these 2 techniques hit their ceiling and I got as many subscribers as I could. So then I had to go a different route, another route, the paid route, in order to continue to grow the newsletter. And that'll be for a future episode.